Microsoft has made a move that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago. The company is integrating Linux directly into Windows, creating what many are calling the most significant operating system shift in recent tech history. But could this strategic decision actually spell the end of Windows as we know it? For decades, Windows and Linux represented opposing philosophies in the computing world. Windows embodied proprietary commercial software, while Linux stood for open-source freedom and community development. Microsoft once referred to Linux as a cancer to intellectual property, making their current embrace all the more remarkable. This new Linux mode is not simply about running Linux applications on Windows. It represents a fundamental architectural shift, allowing the Windows operating system to utilize the Linux kernel natively. This means developers can run Linux commands, tools, and applications directly on Windows without virtualization or performance penalties. The technical implementation involves Windows Subsystem for Linux, or WSL, which has evolved from a compatibility layer to a full-fledged Linux kernel running alongside the Windows kernel. This hybrid approach gives users the interface familiarity of Windows with the powerful development capabilities of Linux. But why would Microsoft make such a dramatic shift? The answer lies in the changing landscape of software development. Linux dominates server environments, cloud infrastructure, and development workflows. By embracing Linux, Microsoft is acknowledging where developer momentum has been heading for years. This strategy aligns with Microsoft's broader pivot under CEO Satya Nadella. The company has transformed from a Windows-centric business to a cloud and services company. Azure, Microsoft's cloud platform, runs more Linux than Windows servers today. The integration of Linux into Windows is the logical extension of this philosophy. Meet developers where they are. For enterprise customers, this hybrid approach offers significant advantages. Organizations can maintain Windows for compatibility with legacy applications and familiar user interfaces while leveraging Linux for modern development practices and server deployments. This reduces the pressure to choose between operating systems. The implications for Windows are profound. Rather than fighting a battle against Linux, Microsoft is redefining what Windows means. The operating system is evolving from a monolithic platform to a flexible environment that can incorporate other systems. This represents a shift from Windows as an operating system to Windows as a platform for operating systems. Does this mean the end of Windows? Not exactly. It signals the end of Windows as we've traditionally understood it. Future versions of Windows may become increasingly modular, with the distinction between Windows and Linux components becoming less relevant to users. The operating system could evolve into a framework that adapts to different computing needs rather than a single rigid system. For everyday users, these changes might initially seem insignificant. The familiar Windows interface will likely remain, but underneath, the technical architecture will become increasingly hybrid. Over time, this could lead to more flexible computing experiences that blend the best aspects of different operating systems. The competitive landscape is also shifting. Rather than Windows versus Linux, the new battleground may be between different approaches to hybrid operating systems. Microsoft's early move gives them an advantage, but Google with Chrome OS and Apple with Mac OS could pursue similar strategies. This transformation reflects a broader trend in technology, the decline of platform lock-in, and the rise of interoperability. Users increasingly expect their tools and systems to work together regardless of the underlying technology. Microsoft's Linux integration acknowledges this reality. The historical significance cannot be overstated. From Bill Gates' focus on putting a computer on every desk running Microsoft software to today's cross-platform approach, we are witnessing the evolution of computing itself. The boundaries between operating systems are blurring in service of user needs and developer workflows. While headlines about the end of Windows make for compelling reading, the reality is more nuanced. Windows isn't ending, it's transforming. Microsoft is ensuring its relevance in a world where operating system boundaries matter less than the experiences they enable. This may be the most profound reinvention of Windows since its creation, ensuring its continued relevance in a rapidly changing technological landscape.